Thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me. We have a lot of new makeup here, including a couple of items from the Chanel Denim collection. I was going to pass on this, but they got to me. So I'm going to explain what it was that I think worked, because I was okay with passing on this launch and then I just kept seeing it come back into stock. There is one main thing that I think worked in terms of getting me on this one and getting me hooked. So I'll explain that. I'd love to know your thoughts on that as well. Also, I've got a palette here. I've got a lip. I have a lot of other new makeup from other brands that I have on my face. So we're gonna play around with some of the makeup, give you my thoughts. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. I thought we would start with something natural because the blue shade, I don't know about you, but for me, it always makes me think of maybe a clown. So I'm gonna go in with something natural. I have an option if you want something more polished. I wanna go with really natural skin so it doesn't look like a mask and then the blue eyeshadow on top. So we've got here a couple of products. These are by Make, and it's the Radiant Skin Tint. So something really natural. If you like something like the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel, something like that, that might be interesting to you. I have a couple of shades here. So I've got shade number 4, which has a peachier undertone. And I also have, I have shade number 3. So these are the two shades, 4 and 3. You can see there's definitely peachiness there and then more neutral here on the 3. So I'm going to take my Hermes brush. It's a really great foundation brush. I'm going to show you 4 right here. It'll help because I've got some dark spots. Great brush though, this Hermes brush. So I'm taking the peachier of the two, number 4 again. The Hermes foundation, if you've not tried it, is really lovely. So if you have not tried it, okay, I'm going to show you number 3 on this side just so you can see the difference. I mean, one nice thing about this kind of foundation is that it's really sheer, so it's more of a veil of color versus covering the skin. So if it's a little bit not exact, then it'll just kind of put a different hue on the skin versus look like it's completely wrong. So this is 3 and this is 4. Now I think for today's purposes, let me take a look at the palette. I think that's the reason why people were attracted to this was this denim, which is not something, I don't know if I'll ever use that again, but it's very cute. So I think that was one of the reasons maybe people picked this up, because blue palette isn't really something people gravitate towards. At least in this audience, we usually gravitate towards more neutral palettes. And I think I lost track of my thinking. What was I saying? We're gonna keep it natural. I think that's what I was trying to get at. I'm going in with a little bit of number 4 here on this side just to balance it out. If you want something more polished, the Hermes foundation is beautiful. The Hermes foundation is a luminous matte finish. So this is going to be very natural, like again, along the lines of Chantecaille Future Skin Gel, something like that. It's really sheer and then you can see the skin. This is one of the most undetectable foundations I've tried. And we'll also go in with their concealer. Okay, so this though, the Hermes Plein Air, I have mine in 41N and 41N Cajou. I'm BD41 in Chanel foundation. That's my ideal shade match. And then the primer I think are really great together. So if you want something like that, something more polished without looking like a mask, that's another great option. I have a video, a long wear test of the foundation. It does really well. It's one of my favorite foundations so far this year. But I thought we would do something very, very skin-like, second skin-like for this particular look. Okay, so we have just this, I mean, it's such a slight layer. This is actually more like the Water Fresh tint, that kind of coverage by Chanel. If you have that, if you love it, then it's along those lines. Actually reminds me a little bit of the sheerness of the SPF, not SPF. Well, it was SPF actually, the Skin Tint by Hermes, which I don't know if they're still offering, but it has that level of sheerness, so very sheer. Oh, also kind of like the Lisa Eldridge, that kind of coverage, and the Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham has a little bit more coverage though, I'm gonna say, just based on my recollection. So we have a few different concealers here, all by Make as well, and they pair really nicely. So we've got here 06 Medium, this more cool toned one, more of an olive tone actually, tone. And then we have here 4 Light W is in the middle, 4 Light W. That light one there. Actually, that looks a lot like Chantecaille's the Camouflage Stylo in 4C. And then we have here number 7 Medium N right here. So I'm gonna go with that one for my dark spots. We're gonna do really fast base here. That's one thing I like about these Make products. They also have a great concealer brush, which is right here. So I'm gonna take this, the 7 with the peachier tone, pick that up. Let's get that on these dark spots. Just get them on the dark spots, very fluid kind of consistency, but also does a really nice job of addressing those dark spots without adding a lot of makeup. So I just picked up that very slight amount that was on my hand. I'm gonna go in with this one that reminds me of, let me see, do I have it right here so I can show you? Aha, the Chantecaille, the Camouflage Stylo, right here. Let me see that right here. And then this is the one I just showed you. I think that's 4. Right here is a little bit lighter. So we're gonna go in with that under the eye. So this is that Make concealer brush, really nice. Let's do one eye so you can see. Really quick and very, very natural. We might add a little bit later more strategically, but that's really fast. So if you've seen my earlier videos, I used to do a lot of work on this face area just to try and balance everything out. Okay, and then we're going with that darker shade. A little bit of olive there. I'm gonna put that on my chin because that is one of the darker spots on my face, and right under here for broken capillaries because it has a little bit of, just a slight bit of olive. And just a little bit, I'm going to do directly on the face with the one that's got a peachy undertone. Does a really nice job of concealing without adding a lot of texture. Nothing like the Clé de Peau concealer. I wouldn't put it in that same category, but it's around the same level of coverage as the Le Camouflage Stylo by Chantecaille. Okay, I'm gonna go in again with a little bit more of that lighter tone. We're gonna go in right here. We're gonna see how this does with one of the Chanel cream blushes, because I think the one I was considering is gonna do really well with the palette, because I want something tawnier and something that will go with the lip as well. So we're gonna going in next with a Make product. This is a brow product. This is in, I think it's taupe, cool taupe. So I think this will work nicely with our, again, our cooler tones. So my eyebrows can change a look, and I really don't like my eyebrows to have any red tones in them. Has a somewhat of a similar hold to the one that I really like right now, the Kosas Airbrow, but it is a little bit more fluid, so just have to be careful where the product ends up. But we're gonna fill in slightly. That was really fast. I like their products are really fast. We're gonna go in with their brow pencil. It's pretty nano sized, and this is also in cool taupe. So I'm gonna fill in right up front here. One other thing about lighter brows is they don't have to be super precise, because you can't really see where like the lines are a little bit fuzzy, so I like that too. We're gonna go finally in with the palette. I mean, it's only been 12 minutes or so since I started in real time. You can still see a little bit of the dark spots, but I don't want to add too much because it might be disrupted here in a moment. Okay, I picked up this one, this palette here. I'll show you a little close up here. I took some video. This is in 19 Denim Dream. Now there were 2 palettes here. The other one looked pretty, but also not super intuitive. And I thought I had things kind of like that. And I didn't love there's more of like a electric bluey tone to the other palette, and also wasn't available. But I really liked this tone. It's got some grayish tones in it, more like a denim. So we're gonna go, it's gonna be tricky because I don't wanna add too much blue. I wanna keep it sophisticated. I think we're gonna try and use this in the crease. Again, not an intuitive palette. I wish I had picked up the liner though. I did not pick up the liner. And when I looked at the entire collection, I thought, oh, I wish I had gotten that because it'd be something really versatile. I really liked the tone. It was more of a denim-y tone. So I'm gonna use this though in the crease. You know, I don't love pink, but this is more of like a mauve-y pink, and my hair has allowed me to do a little bit different makeup than I had done in the past. So that helps. I'm just adding this really into the crease. I don't remember the inspiration image of this, and I'm not going to look at it right this moment, but I'll check it in a little bit. I'm going to take this light blue I'm going to take this light blue color and add that all over the eye. I haven't even swatched this yet, so we're gonna see what this looks like. Okay, so this is very sheer. This is a Ray Morris number 8 brush. I love this brush because I can pretty much do a whole eye look with it. And it really does make application really seamless, really easy. And it's really hard to go wrong with this brush. But you can see we are very subtle. So this actually might not be what I think of as clown makeup or disco makeup even. I mean, these are just sheer washes of color, kind of like watercolor. And I prefer that. I don't want a lot of color payoff. It's almost like a silvery tone with like a blue tinge to it. Very subtle. Okay, we're gonna go in with this deepest color. I'm gonna add that to the crease and see what happens. And then I'm gonna try another product that I received that has like a blue tone in it. And since I did not pick up that not eyeshadow, the eyeliner, since I didn't pick up the eyeliner, I'm gonna try it with this. It's a bit of an eyeshadow stick, which might be really pretty. Okay, I really do like the light nature of this, in that I'm gonna say the sheerness of it. That's why this is actually working for me, because I don't love a lot of color. It's just like hints of color. Very different than my anticipated performance of this. I thought it was going to be a lot of color. Okay, let's go in with this. I'm gonna use my brush, this lightest shade just for the center. And so far nothing's glittery. It's just like a really lovely, soft satin kind of finish. And then let's just go here. Oh, that actually is very beautiful. That little glow. So I have, my favorite single is by Chanel, and it just adds a little bit of a glow to it. It's actually right here. This is my favorite single. This is 234 Beige Sable, and it's reminding me of that in that it imparts a little bit of a glow. This one seems a little bit creamier though. That's maybe the main difference. I haven't even touched this here. Yeah, there's a little bit more of a little bit more metallic in this palette, and it's cooler, and it's got a little bit of like a, it's reminding me of a metal, and I can't exactly place it right now. It'll come to me. But it's like a silvery with a little bit of a, like a yellow tone in there, just slight. It's really pretty. Okay, this is what we're going to do since I don't have the eyeliner, and I think something to just focus this on the fact that it's a blue palette, because I don't think we can even tell, or I can't even really tell. So this is by Jane Iredale. It's a really beautiful eyeshadow stick, and this is in the shade Riviera. It's got a little bit more green, but let's see how it goes, because there's a little bit of a pull towards a periwinkle almost in this denim palette, the Denim Dream. Well, let's see how it goes. So I think it's a little bit deceiving. This looks like it's going to be green. It's not really green on the eye. It's more of that silvery denim. It's not the color of the denim. It is slightly more yellow or green. So it doesn't totally like match this periwinkle hue in the denim palette, but it's beautiful together. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this here. I'm going to go in with the Chanel mascara. This is my favorite Chanel mascara. It's the Volume de Chanel. So let me just add this on really fast. So we've got that coat of mascara on. I'm gonna go in with this and just take the lightest blue color right here and run that under my eyes, because you can see I have redness always under there, just a little bit. I'm gonna put this here to help neutralize that a little bit. I was also looking at the finish on my face. It is very natural looking, and I want to powder this, but I don't know if I'm going to add powder. So what I am going to do is I am going to take the Hermes foundation. This foundation will set itself, the Hermes foundation, and it has that luminous matte finish. So instead of powder, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just add to where I would normally powder. So that way I get a softer finish here and not powdery. mattify slightly because again, this is a luminous matte finish and I still won't have to powder because this sets itself nicely. I'm gonna go in with 20 directly on the skin and see how this looks because I thought I wanted something tawny. So I'm gonna apply it here. It's that blush that looks kind of brown, but I think it works really well. And then we'll look at it with the lip. Stipple that in. I'm gonna use the same concealer brush here. You can see the color of it right there. Gonna go over the bridge of my nose. It's a really nice choice if you have this palette. So I think it's a little tricky with blue, what blush to pair with it. I have a couple of lip products here by Sweet I meant to try out, I forgot. So let's try really fast and then we'll put the HERMES, not the HERMES, the Chanel on. So this lip color is the shade, it's one of the Lydium Melon. This is in Wild Rose. This one right here. It is a little bit pale for me. I don't know if I tried this on in a video. It's this color. So if you have my coloring and you have colored your lips and it's cooler like me, this is how it'll look. I mean, there's something interesting about this. Different though, if you want something that's kind of a monochromatic look. This is the lipstick in Nude Pink. This one right here. Also very like understated, a slightly more color. Again, this is Sweet's Nude Pink. I do want to just adjust my eyebrows a little bit because they seem really extra light. So I'm going to go in with this. This is the air brow that I like so much. I'm not going to add it to the whole brow, just to like the center starting here and then to the exterior just to deepen it. Oh yeah, I'm going to put on my Chanel Denim too. We do have here the one lip that I thought was really interesting. Well, maybe not interesting, but maybe the most wearable and something I don't have a lot of. I love Honey Bliss. So this reminded me of Honey Bliss if you have that. It didn't look as like, I think in Honey Bliss there's a bit of a glow. This one didn't look like that. And this is the Rouge Coco Flash formula, which is really lovely, nice and hydrating, but not super glossy either. So let's go in with this. Oh, it does have like a Honey Bliss kind of tone to it from my recollection. I'm gonna have to find Honey Bliss somewhere. Let me know if you want to see it swatched. I can find it and swatch it and post it in the community tab. This is really lovely. Yeah, this reminds me of makeup I had done at a makeup counter in like the late 90s. Not the eye, but the lip. One of my favorite lip colors. And it wasn't a color I was choosing to wear at the time. I think I was wearing like Black Honey by Clinique, that one. And then I was matched actually by the Stila, the founder of Stila, matched me to the colors. It was like a beautiful purple type of color on the eye, like a deep purple. And then a lip like this. And again, it was the first time I was introduced to a lip like that. Love this formula. I think it's a really beautiful shade and not one that I have too many of. I have a lot of berry tones and your lip's a bit better, but not as many of these warmer toned lips. And I think it's really pretty and goes really well with number 20, the blush that I have on now. Okay, so the thing, actually, I think they said there was one thing that Chanel got to me, something like that. They got to me this time with marketing. And one of the things I thought was this denim pouch. Not that I would ever use this, like the only thing I could think maybe I would use this for is headphones, like a headphone case. That's actually why I wanted to pick up the hand cream, because I thought I could reuse the case, but would I don't know. But this was very attractive. So I don't know why this is something that worked on me this time, because usually things like this, like a little marketing tactic like this, doesn't work. And I also noticed it was like out of stock, in stock, out of stock. The more it came back into stock, the more I thought I wanted to try it. I was okay with missing the launch the first time and even the second time and maybe even the third time, but by the fourth time I thought, okay, I've got to pick something up. The lip products were the only things really that caught my attention at first. Then it was the palette, because both of them did not look intuitive to me. I love a good intuitive palette. They didn't look intuitive. They didn't look like something I would wear, so I didn't want to purchase them. So when this one popped up again, I looked at it closely. I thought, okay, I do like blue. Like, I think blue is a neutral color, but I also, like I said in the Get Ready With Me, kind of reminds me of a clown. So I thought, do I really want to try this? It also, like I said, reminds me of disco or that 70s era. I have lots of feelings about blue. I love blue. It's one of my staples, but blue eyeshadow is always like a not sure. Love a blue eyeliner though. So I really liked that this was so sheer. It was a sheer wash of color. It's like watercolor. It's barely detectable. And maybe people don't like that. I really like that because I have so many neutral palettes right now. Lots of neutral palettes, lots of barely there palettes. They're usually like a taupe color or like a champagne color, but in this case there's an actual color, but it's sheer. So you have to like the sheer nature of this. It's not something that's gonna be a huge color payoff. I was not expecting that. I thought we would get more color payoff. I like it with this bit of cream eyeshadow I put on. Jane Iredale, the one in Riviera. So I can imagine if you picked up the eyeliner, how beautiful that looks. But this looked really nice as an eyeliner. I think it brings out brown eyes is what I think it really does well. So am I happy I picked the palette up? I think it's one of the more festive palettes I have, like playful palettes, but still sophisticated. About as whimsical as I get, I'm gonna say. This is probably that level. So if you're like me and you don't really dabble in color too much, but you want something a little bit different than what you've been using, which is very neutral palettes, very predictable, very understated, effortless. This is like that, but with a little bit of color. Still, again, blue feeling like a neutral. Performed really nicely. It was really hard to go wrong because it was so sheer. I wasn't putting color on a lot at a time, having to blend. Like, it was very easy to blend because it was very sheer. Lovely glow on it, not too much shimmer, not too flat either. So it had a lovely glow, but a little more elevated than, say, this, and not elevated in performance, but elevated in glow than something like this. So it definitely fits into that limited edition kind of release that they normally do, which makes their finishes slightly different than their more not standard. They're more permanent items, which are a bit more subtle. But this is not so shimmery glittery that I wouldn't wear it. It is a lovely satin finish. Okay, and then all the other products, I hope you enjoyed seeing those on the face. The make products are very natural. So if you are a Chantecaille person, or if you like the Chanel skin tint, that kind of level, then this is a little bit more glowy than the Water Fresh tint. Did I say skin tint? The Water Fresh tint by Chanel has encapsulated powder, so it does set itself. This one is a little bit dewier than make products that I had on. So if you like that, if you like the Lisa Eldridge, that kind of product, or something that's a skin tint, then I think you'll really like that. So I hope that was helpful, seeing some other products that I don't normally feature, and just fun playing with makeup. I love playing with makeup, and I had some really beautiful products to play with. So yes, in the end, it was the little denim, this little part that made me more attracted to this palette and this collection that I would have been, which I guess genius of them to think of that. And then, because I don't honestly know what I'm going to do with this, let me know if you did something useful with this, because I have all the tweed ones from before. They're still sitting there. I've not done anything with those either. And let me know what from the collection you picked up. What are you loving? What questions do you have? That is it for today's video. So please take care of each other. Stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. This one is my favorite Chanel mascara. Okay, and I'm just gonna add some mascara. I'm trying to talk fast.